Okay. Girl, you were right. Drugstore makeup is not cheap. Why has no one told me how good these are? Hi, I'm Mallory Brooke, makeup artist and content creator here on YouTube. And if you have seen some of my recent videos, I have been talking about being blown away by a drugstore brand. So recently I was hired to do some work for Revlon for their YouTube channel. I got to try a lot of their products to create looks and I was blown away. So I am going to do a full face of Revlon makeup today, which is wild for this channel because you are used to watching me use pretty much all high-end products. So let's see if they look as good and perform as well. Let's get into it. The first product is a foundation that I reviewed on my channel, so if you would like to see the full review and breakdown, I will leave that link below. But I picked this foundation up at Ulta earlier this year, and I was absolutely blown away by this foundation. I was not expecting to like it because it is drugstore, but I ended up absolutely loving it. My shade is 117. The Revlon Illuminate Skin Caring Foundation is really beautiful. If you have dry skin, fine lines, it wears amazingly throughout the day. But if you want to see all of that detail, I'll link that review below, but I absolutely love it. A little goes a long way. If I were to compare it to a higher end foundation, I would say it reminds me the most of Makeup Forever's HD Skin Foundation. It lasts just as beautifully. I love that it has no fragrance in it. That's just my biggest gripe with drugstore is the fragrance and everything. And I have a big gripe with high-end luxury products having extreme fragrance as well. I just don't understand it. I can't stand it. And it just doesn't work with my skin type or just like my sensories. You know, it's offensive to the nose and the stomach. And I am using a Gabby Rose Face Master brush. I feel like this foundation is really pretty for a nice kind of natural, true natural finish. And I would say if you are an NC 15, this would be a really good match. Or a Makeup Forever's new shade. I think it would shade range, I think a Y205 if you're in the Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation. I believe that would be the match for this. But I will say drugstore is not cheap. You know, like this foundation at Ulta is $20. But if you were to spend $20 at the drugstore on a foundation, I would highly recommend to pick up the Revlon Skin Illuminance Foundation. The next product is the Revlon Skin Awaken Caffeine and Vitamin C 5-in-1 Concealer. This concealer really blew me away because I am so picky when it comes to concealer. I don't want creasing. I don't want my fine lines enhanced. I don't mind them showing because they're there. I am 35. Now I have two shades that I like to use in this concealer. You can use one depending on what you're going for, but I really like the shade 002 because it has a pink undertone, so it's gonna cancel out, you know, blues and darkness. And then I also like the shade 001 because it's yellow, so it'll cancel out those greens really nicely. So I like to combine these. You don't need both. If you like a more pink undertone to cancel out blues and darkness, definitely go with 002, but 001 is a nice universal, really pale concealer shade. So if you are my skin tone, both of these will work really well for you. It does have the dreaded sponge tip applicator, but I have found that this does not get that gross. And when you squeeze it up, the appropriate amount of product pops up where you need it. So I really appreciate that. Whereas some higher end sponge tips, way too much comes out and you're just left with a gooey mess, but you can remove these just like you can the other high end sponge tip applicators. Now, I do like to go ahead, I'm gonna take the shade 001 and just pop it right in the middle of that corrector. And I feel like that gives me, once all blended together, it gives me such a nice brightened under eye. And I do take it up a little bit on my lids because I have a lot of nice green and teal veining on my upper lid. Like, look at that. And I will tell you this, it's so lightweight. If someone were to tell me that this was like a NARS, like a lighter coverage, lighter weight version of their concealer, I would be like, oh yeah, absolutely. And I've used NARS concealer in vanilla for years and years. Like I'm so shocked by how beautiful these concealers are because Usually I do not have that great of luck with drugstore concealers because I do need to build up a decent amount of coverage because I do have terrible dark circles. All right, so they did not send me a setting powder, but that's okay because I went to Walmart and I purchased the Revlon Color Stay Pressed Powder in translucent. So this could be terrible. I don't know. I've never, oh, it comes with a sponge, little applicator there. I'm gonna use a brush. So we'll see. I'll see if I like this or not. I don't know. I haven't tried it. I am going to use a BK Beauty in 17 brush to set my under eyes. I feel like it's gonna be a really nice shape here to get that done. I'm gonna use the natural animal hair looking side to do this. That might be a lot of too much powder. I'm just gonna take, a lot actually came up. That grabbed a lot of product. I'm just gonna tap the excess off in the lid. Now, I couldn't find a powder from Revlon, and maybe this is just at Walmart, but you guys let me know because I could not find a powder at Revlon, from Revlon at Walmart that created like a luminance kind of finish, like a natural finish. I really like Laura Mercier's Candle Glow powder, setting powder. Because of that, I like powders that give me just a little bit of light reflection because I don't need mattifying, but this does claim to mattify all day and has oil control. Girl, I wish I had oil, like natural oils keeping me fresh all day and glowy and dewy and hydrated, but I just unfortunately do not. Okay, I have to say that really is a really nice translucent powder. I mean, this looks like skin, but my under eyes just look a little brighter. All right, we'll see how this looks as we go about the makeup application process. Okay, the next thing that actually blew me away was the Revlon Color Stay Micro Brow Pencil, and they sent me the shade Ash Blonde. And if you've watched me for any amount of years, then you know that I have been using the Hourglass Arch Brow Pencil since it came out a good almost like 8 years ago. I've just repurchased that because I have such a hard time finding the appropriate shade of blonde for my brows. And this is one of them that actually match an ash blonde brow without making it warm or making it too gray. And I love how small it is, and it actually lasts all day. And you can go in and you can mimic hairs, or you can fill in your brows completely. And I feel like a lot of drugstore eyebrow pencils tend to be very waxy, but this one, as soon as you place it to your brow hairs and on your skin, it actually clings to them. You actually get pigment, which is really, really rare to me. And honestly, it's not even just drugstore brow pencils. I have had such a hard time finding brow pencils that don't do that. And that's why I have purchased the same brow pencil for like 8 years. But look at that. It fills it in so nicely. I'm just filling in to like kind of correct my shape, not to make my brows very dark. But look at that. That's like my brow hair shade. There's no warmth there. It's like the perfect neutral blonde brow pencil. Absolutely blown away by it. I wasn't expecting to like it, and since I got it, I've been using it, and I'm like, it's so lightweight in the hand. You have so much control. The actual product itself does not just like snap off like some brow pencils tend to do. Anyway, I'm very picky about concealers and brow pencils, and these two items alone are just like, wait a minute, are we sure that this is drugstore? I just haven't come across a drugstore brow pencil like ever that performs the way this one does. I mean, I honestly couldn't tell ya if I was wearing the Hourglass Arch Brow or the Revlon Micro Pencil. And at the end of the day as well, it does not fade. It's not too waxy. It's not too pigmented. It's just the perfect amount of like velvet pigmentation. Clings to the brow hairs and clings to the skin. One more product that I could not find at Walmart, and let me know what you think about Revlon's brow gels, but I don't have a brow gel and I couldn't find one. So I just used the Merit Beauty Volumizing Pomade Brow Gel in Neutral, which is sheer. It's just like a clear pomade. I love their blonde shade. So yeah, that's brow gel we're going with today, just something like very transparent. Nothing to change the Revlon brow pencil, but I just want to let you guys know. I don't know. I have never tried a Revlon brow gel, so let me know if you have. This like became nostalgia city when I was in the Revlon section, and I had to pick this up. The Revlon Not Just Nudes. Are they just calling it a palette? Oh, I took the sticker off. So anyway, this was one of my first like actual makeup products that I purchased. Am I gonna be able to get it open? Oh yeah. Oh my God, look. They're flat. I don't even remember if that's how it was. This was one of my first makeup products I've ever purchased, like as a kid that was first starting to wear makeup. And I want to try them again today, create kind of like a base situation before I go into the eyeshadow palette that I really like from them. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this, let's see. Ooh, yeah, let's warm it up with this guy right here. I'm gonna apply this all over my lids. I'm gonna use a Gabby Rose Eye Master, and I'm just gonna apply this to my lids, blend it all out because we have a cooler toned eyeshadow palette that I really like, and I wanna bring some warmth to this look and see if these are still as good, because I had like the pink and silver one and I saw it at Walmart and I was like, wait a minute, whoa. And I totally would have picked it up, but I know I would have never worn it, not now anyway. But I loved these little Revlon eyeshadow palettes. And Revlon, Almay, and Neutrogena, and then later on when I became a teenager, when Physicians Formula was starting to become a thing, those were like the only brands I could use because I had such sensitive eyes and skin. So even back then I couldn't wear much drugstore. So not even being able to wear drugstore when you're a teenager and you can't really afford makeup at all, it was hard because I couldn't wear most of it. And also they didn't know that I had neurological Behçet's disease. So I have uveitis as well as corneal ulcers that can happen, and they happened, you know, obviously my entire life because I was born with the disease. And so my eyes, when I say they're sensitive, girl, I have almost lost my left eye, like actually lost it 3 times in my life. So from corneal ulcer. So it ain't no joke, girl. I gotta be very careful depending on what products I can put on my eyes, around my eyes, things like that. This is really pretty. I don't know if you could put mascara on and it wouldn't crease all day, but excuse me, Revlon? Girl, I'm gonna keep this in my rotation this fall. I will keep you guys updated. You'll probably, if this does not crease and we really like it over time, it'll definitely end up in a favorites video, but that blended out stunningly. I want to take a quick break and thank today's sponsor, Dossier. If you're not familiar, Dossier creates fragrances inspired by high-end and designer fragrances that can range up to $300, and Dossier fragrances start at $29. You guys know I've been working with Dossier for so long now. They are having their biggest sale of the year. It is up to 55% site-wide, so shop for you, for your friends, for your family. These fragrances make such good gifts, and they also have candles and room infusers, room infusers, you know, the sticks that go in the scents. But let's get into my recommendations for this month. The first fragrance is Fruity Almond. It is inspired by Carolina Herrera's Good Girl, and it is such a classic feminine fragrance. It's what I'm wearing today, but the top notes are almond and peach, middle notes are orris, orange blossom, and tuberose, and base notes are tonka bean, vanilla, and cacao. Ooh, I could literally just do this all day long. It's such a comforting, like warm yet floral feminine fragrance. Have not stopped wearing this month. It smells so good, and Dossier fragrances last you all day. And plus, like, I have to give a nod to the packaging, but I can't believe they're having like up to 55% side-wide. So check that out. I'm not even sure if you can. I will have my discount code below and on screen. It is Mallory B5. I don't know if you can layer that with the sales going on, but you can try and see if you can get an extra further discount with using my code. The next fragrance is Powdery Peach, which is inspired by Jimmy Choo's I Want You, which I think is such a cute name. The top notes are peach, tangerine, black currant, middle notes, white flowers, jasmine, and base notes are vanilla, benzoin, and patchouli. So you get that like nice floral, like warmth, but then it ends with a nice kind of metallic patchouli sharpness with the benzoin and the patchouli. Now the next fragrance is actually a Dossier collection, an original. This is from their wellness collection. This recently launched, so this is not inspired by any other fragrances. This is their own. So like help you feel calmed and refreshed and renewed, and like I really feel like it does. It's like, who's brewing black tea? It's like that. And then the sweetness of the sage and the other notes in there. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, let's go over the notes. The top notes are star anise, bergamot, and cinnamon. Middle notes are violet, cardamom, clove, and tea. The clove and tea really comes out. Base notes, sage, palo santo, and amorous wood. And I can tell you, it's like your favorite hippie aunt is in town, but like she decided to wear something different. I will have all of these fragrances in the info box below. Again, you can use my code MalloryB5 for a further discount, and they are having their huge sale of the year. Happy shopping. Also, select catch at checkout for even more of a discount. I hope you find the perfect gifts for yourself or someone else. Thank you so much, Dossier, for sponsoring this portion of the video. So the eyeshadow palette I'm gonna use is the shade Stunning, and it's kind of like a nice taupey, greigey, champagne-y quad, and I love this for smoky eyes or looks for the daytime. So I'm gonna go into the matte kind of taupe gray shade here. And these eyeshadows also blew me away. I was like, you know what? Like, these perform really well. I actually used a full face of Revlon like a few weeks ago for a date night. Like, seriously. You guys have to let me know in the comments what you like from Revlon. I personally think that Revlon and L'Oreal are my favorite and the most like quality makeup at the drugstore. You know what I just realized? I'm not zoomed in. Here you guys go. You guys have been requesting that lately, and I just get going and I get excited, so I forget. So I hope this is gonna make up for the amount of time we haven't been zoomed in. But anyway, I am absolutely blown away. You know, and I said this in a recent favorites video that I included some Revlon products. Like, guys, like, we don't need everything to smell like, you know, cherry cake and cough syrup vanilla. Like, I don't want that. That makes me so sick. So I think also part of my enthusiasm is that it's unscented and we don't have like bad tastes in our mouth because the lipsticks and the lip glosses are scented. I just hate that so much. I'm just gonna blend that out. This is such a pretty duo, that cream shade laid down first. I'm so glad I bought that cream palette. No regrets there. All right, for my lids, I'm gonna go into this shade right here, and I'm gonna use a little applicator brush. This is a BK Beauty 203. This was one of the shades out of this quad that a couple times for my quick makeup look for like my life, not for filming or anything, I just put on my lids and went. Look at that. You guys know that I love a glossy lid that's, you know, obviously not made of gloss, so it doesn't break up my makeup. And this is one of those eyeshadows that give me such a nice, like, glossy lid appearance. Isn't that stunning? And there's really no fallout. I do tend to go in a little firmer with shades like this, so I will go in and press firmer than I normally would with like a matte shadow or something. So it reduces the shimmer fallout, but there's really not much at all, if any. Like, I see a couple of shimmers, but if you don't like shimmer that can get on your face, if like that bothers you, just try not to use shimmer eyeshadow. This is such a soft, pretty look. Oh, I love it. I'm gonna take that same shade just on the edge of my brush here, and I'm gonna run that underneath my lash line because I don't mind a little shimmer a little lower in some areas. All right, now you may have guessed it, I'm gonna go right into this lighter shade, which is like a really beautiful golden champagne-y shade. I'm gonna take that same brush. I'm so like, this next time I get my nails done, I'm gonna get shorter nails just so I can apply eyeshadow with my fingers again because I miss it. You get so much more of a high shine because you're actually crushing those shimmers with the heat of your finger as well as, you know, with your finger itself. So you get a little more like high shine, you know, for your buck. But this BK Beauty 203 really does mimic fingers. And I also like the Gabby Rose Colors brush that's similar to this that does the same for a shimmer shadow. For eyeliner, I'm gonna use the Revlon Color Stay Micro Hyper Precision Gel Eyeliner. This eyeliner is so nice because it is like very high precision. So you can get in the tiny spots and also you don't overdo it. You know, you can really tight line really nicely with this. So I'm gonna smudge this all along my upper lash line as well as run that through my waterline. And I have a Pomeranian hair in my lash. Thanks a lot. I just want like a slight smoke. And now I'm gonna go in with a BK Beauty 207. I'm gonna go into this darkest shade here, right here. And I'm gonna smudge all of this. Sometimes I like to underpaint my eyes with liner and then go over with shadow, but I really wanted a little more depth than that method could give me today. So I'm putting liner over shadows. Where is that Pomeranian hair? Oh my God. That's like, I look at Helen and Tex and their hairs just go, yep, we're gonna stay on your face all day. Oh, I'm really happy with that. Also, I wanna say if you have hooded lids, this eyeliner does not smudge on the lids. You do have work time, but once it is set, it's set. And I've noticed that with their lip liners as well, which is really nice. I like to have work time, but I want my products to set. I don't want them to be like soft and sliding around, especially when it comes to my eyes, because I do have hooded lids. Now I'm just gonna blend right over this with a clean brush. This is a BK Beauty in 13, which is from the Nikki La Rose or Nikki LA Rose collab. All right, for my lashes, we are on the tail end of my lash lifts life. If you would like to see how I did a DIY lash lift for the first time, I will link that video below. It's very chatty, very fun, very experimental. But I have some that have already started falling, so I'm gonna use the Revlon lash curler. Look at this. It is so cool. And because it's smaller, it doesn't pinch my eyes. It doesn't pinch my eyes. You guys see how small that little lid space is? And it's very ergonomic. So I'm just gonna curl everything together, even though some of them don't need the curl because they are lasting from the lash lift. Some of these puppies have just decided to go to sleep. The lash lift, I would say, is now 6.5 weeks old. Yeah, so I think it's like 6.5 weeks old. So it's coming up on the 8-week mark where you would like need to do it again. So I'm happy with the results. It has lasted the entire time and it's supposed to last up to 8 weeks. So this mascara, the Eyes Wide Open So Fierce mascara, has cannabis in it. I feel like that's great and all. It's supposed to be like good for your lashes, but I feel like everybody's just like adding cannabis to everything. I don't know if it's, you know, does it work? I don't know. But I really like this mascara for lift and separation, which has been nice since I have had a lash lift. Oh yeah, my lashes are going wonky now. We'll just try to brush them in one direction. I think that might help. But on a better lash day, let me tell you, this mascara is so nice. It's very like matte, moussey black, which is nice. Oh girl, my eyelashes are not looking the best right now. Now this is one thing I'm not liking about the lash lift, is that my lashes are going a little wonky. But when my lash lift was at its best, girl, this mascara looked so good. If they weren't so wonky, I think you'd be impressed because that's just one coat. Look what I did. Oh man, we gotta wait for that to kind of dry down so I can flake that off. So let's move on to the face. Another Revlon product that I was blown away by, the way it just kind of looked like it was a bronzer within my skin, is the Revlon Skin Lights bronzer. I have the shade Sun Kissed Beam. I have used this before. This is a product that they sent to me, and I think that it is just so pretty for a powdered bronzer. And I say this all the time, high end or not, like I love the Jones Road, the bronzer, and I said, in my like first impressions of that bronzer, I was like, wow, this actually is different, because I feel like brands will come out with bronzers and they will just be so underwhelming, and it's like every powder bronzer is kind of the same. I want a bronzer that's finely milled. I want a bronzer that actually looks like I've been out in the sun, that looks like it could possibly be my skin. And I think that a lot of bronzers end up looking very ashy or muddy and just like a powder over the rest of your makeup. Now, I feel like that Revlon did a really good job of making sure that this looked like skin. It really does. It looks like I just spent a little time outside, which is rare these days, and I really appreciate it. When a powder bronzer impresses me, girl, that's saying a lot. And that's why I raved about the Jones Road, the bronzer, for so long, because it is different. It was finely milled. It was more matte. This definitely gives a little bit of luminance to the face, a much more natural finish. The Jones Road really gives you a complete like matte finish. Can you believe I did this? Oh, I hope that I'm able to bounce back from that. Okay. For blush, this is one of the Revlon blushes I haven't put down, and I talked about this in a recent video, didn't I? I think it might have been a vlog. It's the shade Apricot. Like, what a cute name. Watch this. It's like a mauve-y, deep, like peachy type shade. Look at that. It goes right on. And if you were to tell me this is a Laura Mercier blush, I'd be like, yeah, I could see it. It's like a touch more powdery than like a Laura Mercier blush. Like, I feel like those are really super finely milled, but the way this wears and looks on the skin, honey, it looks like it's higher end. I think Revlon has done an amazing job at making quality products that are out now. I mean, I'm just like seriously blown away by what I like, and because I don't like drugstore for all of the reasons why I said. Like, I feel like so many blushes would just smell like roses. Oh my God, what are they called? The CoverGirl blushers, the cheek blushers. I love some of those blushers, like the one that's like brown, that almost looks like a bronzer. It's like rose something. Girl, I loved that shade, but I couldn't use it anymore over the years because it smelled so bad. Even when I was a teenager, I was like, ee, I love this color, but it smells so bad. It like turns my stomach. That's my rooster. Anyway, Apricot, yes, so cute. And you guys, such a cute shade is what I'm saying. Some of you have asked me why I'm putting my blush like close to my nose lately. It's just to give me some youthfulness. I feel like my face is so dragged down right now from not feeling well that like bringing a little flush to the face really helps me kind of fake a healthy look. But normally I love a nice like contoured drape and a very like bright area here, but my face just needs a little youthfulness to it. And for blush, this brush is the BK Beauty Nikki, is it LA Rose or Low Rose? I don't really know, in 15. I could go overboard with that. I'm gonna take my BK Beauty 107, the one that I applied my bronzer with, and blend those together. Actually, I'm gonna take some on my forehead a little bit. All right, here is the highlight that I'm so excited to try because I bought this at Walmart. When I saw the shade, I was like, oh my God. I don't know if it's supposed to look like dragon scales or not, but it's the Revlon Skin Lights, and this is in the shade 201 Daybreak Glimmer. Look at this. And I'm really excited because on one of my recent videos, one of you were like, I tried the Revlon highlight because I've been raving about Revlon. I haven't tried this yet. And you were like, it is just like, it looks so high end, looks like you have like a really beautiful high end wet highlight. So here we go, let's try it. I'm gonna use the same BK Beauty in 15 brush with the blush on it. Okay, ooh, okay. Okay, do you guys see that? I haven't used this yet. I bought it like last week. I've been trying to film for a good week and a half. I haven't been able to. Girl, you were right. Okay. Now listen, here's the thing. I'm sure I put this in the title or the thumbnail and I'll put it on the screen. This full face of makeup is not cheap. Drugstore makeup is not cheap. Like I said, the foundation was $20. I think this highlight was $12.99. Like when I add it up, it gets very expensive. So, you know, it's a good thing to like pick and choose, save some money at the drugstore for products that are worth it. Something like this highlight, like the foundation, and then have less makeup that actually lasts you and that you are happy with and lasts throughout the day and make you look your best, because we are in a time where the prices are close and the quality difference, there is a big gap there to me personally, not with the products I'm talking about today. The Revlon Color Stay Powder, I'm still loving. I'm looking in the mirror, girl, it looks like I don't have products underneath my eyes at all. Ignore the mascara, we're not ready to flake it off yet. Do you see that? That looks like skin. And look at that. I'm 35, there's my wrinkles and crinkles, right? It bounces right back. It's not like it's making me look crepey or like the lines are there. Okay, this highlight, we're gonna go overboard. I gotta stop. You were right, girl. This is right up there, I think, with the Charlotte Tilbury Face Architect, if not even more glowy. I'm gonna take my Refer, I love this brush so much for blending face products, my Refer 22, because like I always say, if you're gonna blend your eyeshadows, you need to blend your face. There's lines there too, girl, and it helps make everything look like it's coming from within. All right, I'm gonna flake off this mascara and try to like calm down from how beautiful this highlight is, and then we'll get to the lip combo. I am happy to announce that flaked right off with my Q-tip. I'm just needing to blend that area a little bit. All right, let's get to this lip combo. I'm loving this. The lipsticks are really what got me to keep using the Revlon products that were sent and got me to do this video and buy even more Revlon products. So these lip pencils are insane. The Revlon Color Stay Longwear lip liners, I cannot put them down with my Revlon lipsticks or with like my higher end Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks, things like that. This is the shade Sienna. Oh my God, it's so pretty on its own, but I'm gonna show you one of my favorite lip combos right now. Like, it is like my lip shade, but better. Oh, I did get a little bit, I got a little bit of that. There we go. That mascara right there. Is that not a Your Lips But Better type shade? Wow, wow, wow. Okay, and in my recent videos, I've been comparing the Revlon Color Stay lip liners to my beloved favorite all-time lip liners, the M Cosmetics Velvet Lip Blurs. These remind me so much of those as far as precision, color payoff, and all of that good stuff, except these blur a little bit less. Like once they're laid down, you have a little bit of work time, but they are on, that's it. So they don't blur out like the M Cosmetics ones, but they remind me so much of them, except they have a little bit, like a touch of luminance. I would say they were foundations. The Revlon Color Stay Longwear lip liners, these would be a satin finish foundation, and the M Cosmetics Velvet Lip Blurs would be like a matte foundation. You know what I mean? They reflect a little bit more light than the M Cosmetics. Now, you guys, the Revlon Super Lustrous lipsticks, why has no one told me how good these are, okay? I would say they're just a couple steps down from the Charlotte Tilbury Hot Lips, which is one of my favorite lipsticks of all time, lipstick formulas of all time. Did I say what shade this is in? This is in the shade Bare It All, which is a new shade. But is this not such a good lip combo? This has a little bit more peachy undertones than the lip liner, and it's just a tad lighter. Like I'm blown away by the lip products, especially. I love everything else. I would say my least favorite thing would probably be the eyeshadow quad, and I love it. I think they're beautiful. I think these eyeshadow quads are beautiful, but the lip products are just, because I think one thing, like lip products are my personal favorite things to purchase. I'm just gonna correct a little bit. Stunning, stunning, stunning. Oh my God. All right, you guys, this is the final full face of Revlon. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I really had a lot of fun creating this look today. It's just a really soft, focused, simple look. I will say this, I think this cream palette, starting with the cream shade, was beautiful, but after I finished drying my hair and curling my hair to give you the really pretty reveal, I noticed my mascara started smudging. So I think that this made my mascara smudge because I didn't have that problem with this mascara before. So just be careful. If I would have set this maybe with like a setting powder or like a skin toned type eyeshadow, I think it would have been a bit better. That was a bit of a bummer, but overall, first of all, this highlight, I am so glad that I bought this because this is gonna stay in my regular freaking rotation. If I were to have bought that Tom Ford highlighter that I wanted during the Sephora sale and it looks like this, I'd be like, oh my God, $90 well spent. Well, I have to say, I think it was $14 or $15 well spent. So in all, I did purchase some of these items. The other items were sent to me by Revlon, but overall, this entire look would have cost this altogether if I would have paid for every single item. Still a hefty price, you know what I mean? So here's the thing, just because something is like cheaper doesn't mean it's better. Just because something is expensive doesn't mean it's gonna work better for you. So definitely, you know, play around. Makeup's not supposed to be like such a crazy, like polarizing, serious issue. When I say drugstore doesn't work for me, I get a lot of backlash for that. And that's just the truth. It usually doesn't, but fortunately, a lot of the Revlon products do work for me, so I'm really glad that I got to be reintroduced to this brand because I love most of the stuff. I think I'll leave this for nostalgia, but overall, everything else I absolutely love, especially this highlighter. So I will have everything that I talked about used and mentioned in the info below, and yes, they are all affiliate links if I can help it, because when you shop through my links, it helps support this channel. I make a very small commission if you do shop shop through those links and decide to support this channel. So thank you so much for doing that. Please give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy seeing a lot of drugstore featured in one of my videos. It was a lot of fun. I'm really glad I discovered a lot of these products. Let me know what your favorites from Revlon and the drugstore are. What is another brand that's comparable to Revlon that doesn't have fragrance and doesn't irritate your skin and eyes? I would love to know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. We would love to have you in this beautiful, wonderful, positive community. And I will see you in the next one. Listen to me. If you try one thing from Revlon, you have to try lip products, okay? Lip liner and lipsticks. I can't get over it.
All right.